Lauren kissed me like she always did before a trip. Quick, practiced, warm enough to pass for love. I leaned against the kitchen counter, coffee in hand, watching her move through the morning routine like she'd done 1,000 times. "Don't forget Lily has piano at 4, she said, slinging her laptop bag over one shoulder. "And Tyler's got that physics thing after school. He needs a ride." "Got it," I nodded. "You've got everything?" She patted her pockets, grabbed her coat, and called out, "Tyler, Lily, I'm leaving." The kids came running in. Lily hugged her around the waist. Tyler gave her the usual half-shoulder bump with a grunted, "Bye, Mom." She crouched to kiss Lily's cheek. "Be good, sweetheart. I'll call tonight." Then she turned to me. "Flight lands at noon. Meetings all afternoon. I'll call after dinner." Another quick kiss. She smiled, then walked out the door. I stood there for a second, listening to the garage door rumble close behind her. That was it. Another trip, same as always. Quick note. Before we start, how's your day going and where are you joining from? My name's Daniel. I'm 42 years old. I live just outside Seattle. I've been married to Lauren for 18 years. 2 kids. Tyler is 15, smart as hell, a little sarcastic. Lily is 10, total sweetheart. Lives in her own world most days. Lauren works in corporate marketing. I run a local construction business. We've built a solid life. After the kids headed off to school, I cleaned up the breakfast dishes and texted Lauren a quick, "Safe flight. Love you." She replied with a heart emoji and "talk soon." I remember thinking, damn, we've made it. Most couples I knew were either in therapy or half a step from divorce. Not us. We'd had our rough patches, who hasn't? But we always found our way back. We were a team. She worked hard. I held down the fort when she traveled, and we both put the kids first. The day passed like any other. Worksite check-ins, client calls, grabbing groceries. I texted Lauren a couple times. Nothing deep, just updates, photos of Lily's doodle-covered lunchbox, and Tyler pretending to study. She didn't reply right away, but that wasn't unusual on travel days. By evening, I was sitting on the couch with the kids watching one of those baking competition shows. Around 9, Lauren called. She sounded tired but sweet. Told me about back-to-back meetings, said the hotel was nice, asked about the kids. We talked for maybe 10 minutes. Nothing weird, just normal. Married stuff. When I hung up, I felt calm, settled. Life was good. I had no clue everything was about to blow up. The next morning, I sent Lauren a photo of Lily's breakfast masterpiece. 3 pancakes stacked like a leaning tower, drenched in syrup with chocolate chips for eyes. Normally, she'd respond with something like, "OMG, she's too much," or "You spoil her." All I got was, "Cute." No emoji, no punctuation, just cute. It hit weird. I stared at the screen for a second, thumb hovering over the keyboard. Maybe she's slammed. I didn't reply. I waited. That day she texted once more. Heading into back-to-backs, talk later. That was it. Not her usual check-ins or comments asking how the kids were doing. I figured I was overthinking it. People get busy. Still, something felt off. That night, I was in bed scrolling through emails when my phone buzzed. It was close to midnight. "Lauren, evening was unforgettable. Want to repeat tomorrow." I blinked, sat up, read it again. My first thought was, what the hell? Then 3 seconds later, she followed up. "OMG, so sorry. Meant that for Sarah from the team. Inside joke. Long story, LOL." I didn't type anything right away. My stomach tightened. "Who's Sarah?" I finally replied. No answer for about 15 minutes. Then, "New marketing manager, just joined 2 weeks ago. We were joking around earlier." I stared at the screen. I'd never heard of a Sarah. Lauren usually told me about new hires, especially ones she was working closely with. She talked about her coworkers constantly. This didn't fit. I wanted to call, ask her directly, but I didn't. I just sat there, my head spinning with possibilities I didn't like. The next morning, I tried brushing it off. Kids had school, I had job sites to check. I told myself I was being paranoid. She was in New York, working late, probably dealing with stress. People send dumb messages all the time. Autocorrect, copy-paste. Hell, maybe it really was some inside joke I didn't get. But still, I couldn't let it go. That message was intimate. Evening was unforgettable. That wasn't friendly banter. That was a confession meant for someone else. I started noticing more little things. Her replies got shorter. Her calls got quicker. She didn't ask about the kids as much. She didn't ask about me at all. Thursday night, I called her around 9. She answered, voice slightly out of breath. Hey, sorry, just finished dinner with a client. Can I call you in a bit? I said sure. She never called back. Friday morning, she sent a crazy night, sorry I missed you text. No mention of who the client was, what they talked about. None of the usual details she'd normally dump on me. That's when I started making quiet mental notes, tracking patterns, who she mentioned, what she didn't say. Saturday, after Lily's soccer game, I was folding laundry when the idea hit me like a sucker punch. I could go to New York, just show up. She'd be flying home Monday. I could take the kids for the weekend and surprise her. I told myself it was just to do something fun. Let the kids see the city. She'd be happy to see us. We could go to a Broadway show, visit Central Park, make memories, nothing suspicious. Just a husband and father doing something spontaneous. But deep down, I knew that wasn't the real reason. I needed to see her face. I needed to know if she was lying, and if she was. I wanted to catch her before she could bury it. Final thought, if I was wrong, she'd laugh it off. If I was right, then I needed to know now. I stood there in the laundry room, holding one of Lily's soccer socks, and made up my mind. I was going to New York. I walked out of the laundry room, tossed the sock in the basket, and called the kids into the kitchen. Hey, I said, what if we surprise Mom in New York tomorrow? Lily lit up immediately. Like on a plane? Tyler raised an eyebrow. For real? Yeah, just for the weekend. She's coming back Monday anyway. We could spend some time together, show up at her hotel, take her out. She'd love it. Lily jumped up and down. Yes! I've never been to New York. Tyler still looked skeptical, but I saw the corner of his mouth twitch. We'd miss school. Couple days, you'll survive. I pulled out my laptop and started checking flights. Non-stop, out of SeaTac. Sunday morning departure, back Monday night. I booked the 3 of us, then called the hotel Lauren was staying at. I asked to be put on the same floor. They had space, suite with 2 beds, just 3 doors down from hers. I didn't text Lauren, didn't give her any heads up. I told myself it was part of the fun. Who doesn't like a surprise? But my stomach said otherwise. Later that afternoon, I swung by the site to check on one of our remodels. My foreman, Scott, was there, leaning on a pile of lumber, sipping his usual gas station coffee. You hear from your wife? He asked casually. I swear I thought I saw her downtown last week. I looked up. Last week? Yeah, Thursday. I was grabbing sushi near Union. Pretty sure I saw her eating with some dude in a suit. I tried to keep my face neutral. Could have been a client. She's got partners in the city. He shrugged. Probably. Just surprised me, I guess. Didn't look like a work lunch, if you know what I mean. I gave a tight smile and changed the subject. Drove home gripping the steering wheel like it had something to say. At dinner, I watched the kids eat spaghetti and tried to picture Lauren at some quiet table, laughing at another man's jokes. I pushed the thought away. It's not proof, it's just timing. After they went to bed, I sat on the couch, lights off, just the sound of the dishwasher running in the background. I opened Lauren's Instagram. Nothing new posted. Her stories were just city skylines, coffee cups, and a couple work selfies with no tags. I clicked through them one by one, looking for anything off. A reflection in a window, a shadow behind her, a man's voice. Nothing. Around midnight, I finally headed upstairs. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, hands behind my head, heart thudding louder than it should have. What am I doing? If I was wrong, I'd look like a crazy person dragging the kids across the country uninvited. But if I was right, if she was really doing something shady, then I needed to see it with my own eyes. I didn't want to hear it secondhand. I didn't want another vague text or voice full of excuses. I rolled onto my side and stared at the phone on the nightstand. No new messages. At some point, I finally fell asleep, but it didn't feel like rest. Final thought before I drifted off. Tomorrow's either going to fix everything or burn it all down. We were supposed to land in New York by 5, Ended up stuck on the tarmac in Chicago for 2 hours thanks to weather delays. Then circled JFK another 40 minutes because of runway traffic. By the time we got to the hotel, it was past 10. The kids were dragging. Tyler had his hoodie pulled over his head, earbuds in. Lily was leaning on my arm, half asleep, her backpack sliding off one shoulder. I checked in at the front desk while they sat on the lobby couch. The guy behind the counter typed a few things, smiled politely. "You're on the 12th floor, just a few doors down from Lauren Hargrove." "Is she in for the night?" I asked casually. He glanced at his screen. "Yes, sir. Her room's marked Do Not Disturb." I felt something shift in my gut. I nodded and reached for the key cards. As he handed them over, a woman in a maroon vest walked behind the counter pushing a silver cart. The hotel guy said, "Oh, perfect timing. Mr. Hargrove, this is Cheryl. She just came down from 12. She smiled. "You just missed the champagne." I blinked. "What?" "Room 1232. She ordered a chilled bottle, 2 glasses. Fancy night in, huh?" I didn't say anything, just took the keys and turned around. Lily was already up and tugging my hand. "Can we see her now?" Tyler stood, watching me closely. He saw my face. He could tell. "Not yet," I said. "Let's get our stuff upstairs." The elevator ride was quiet. My chest was burning, but my hands were steady. When we got to our room, I slid the key in, let them both inside, and dropped the suitcases near the door. "Give me 5 minutes," I said. "I'll check if Mom's free." Tyler sat down on the bed, his jaw clenched. Lily looked up, confused. "Isn't she going to be excited?" "Of course," I said, forcing it out. "Just want to give her a heads up." I stepped into the hall and walked 3 doors down. 1232. The hallway was quiet except for the distant ding of an elevator down the corridor. I stood in front of her door and knocked once. Nothing. I waited 10 seconds, knocked again, firmer, still nothing. I pulled out my phone and called her. No answer. Then, finally, a text. "Lauren, in a late meeting. Can I call you in the morning?" I stared at the message, then at the door. Late meeting, at almost 11, in a hotel room with a Do Not Disturb sign. I put my phone back in my pocket and leaned in closer to the door. At first, silence. Then, faint but clear, voices. A man's and a woman's, hers and his. I couldn't make out what they were saying. The voices were muffled, like they were standing close, maybe near the bed. I stood there frozen, heart hammering against my ribs. I wasn't panicking, not yet. But I wasn't calm either. I was doing the math. Champagne, 2 glasses, D&D sign, a man's voice. I'd come here expecting a hug, a surprise smile, some cheesy family moment in the hallway. Instead, I was standing outside my wife's door, listening to her pretend she was in a damn meeting. I backed away slowly, just a few steps. My head felt heavy. I walked back to our room, opened the door. Tyler looked up immediately. "She busy?" "Yeah," I said. "She'll meet us in the morning." I gave him a look that said, "Not now." He didn't say anything else. Lily had already crawled under the blanket. "Tell her I love her," she mumbled. "I will." I kissed her forehead, told them both good night, then stepped back into the hallway and closed the door behind me. Then I walked back to 1232 and waited. I stood outside her door for over 10 minutes. The voices inside faded once or twice, like someone moved toward the back of the room, then came back again. Quiet laughs, low murmuring, nothing urgent, nothing that sounded like business. I knocked. Silence. I waited 5 seconds and knocked again. Sharper this time. Footsteps. A soft thud. The bolt sliding. Then the door cracked open. Lauren stood there in a hotel robe, hair pulled back, cheeks flushed. No makeup, no jewelry. Just her in the robe, and that startled deer in headlights look that hit me like a hammer. "Daniel," she said, voice tight. What are you doing here?" I kept my hands in my pockets. "You said you were in a meeting." I am. It's late, I didn't expect..." She glanced over her shoulder quickly, then back at me. "Why are you here?" "I brought the kids. Thought we'd surprise you. Family weekend. That a problem?" "No, I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting this." That much is obvious. She pulled the robe tighter across her chest, keeping one hand on the edge of the door like she was shielding the room behind her. I'm here with Maxwell. We were just going over numbers for Monday's pitch. Maxwell Grayson? Yes. She said it like I was supposed to know the name. And you usually have champagne and hotel robes on for budget meetings? She blinked hard. We had dinner in the hotel restaurant. Came up to run through slides. It's late, Daniel. Please don't start. I leaned a little closer. You always meet alone with male coworkers in your room. No calls, no text to your husband. No mention of who you're with? She crossed her arms, annoyed now. Don't do this. Don't come in here acting like... Acting like what? I cut in. Like a husband who brought his kids across the country to surprise his wife and finds her holed up in a hotel room with a man she never mentioned? Maxwell just joined the team. He's new. I told you, this project's been insane. No, you didn't tell me about Maxwell, just like you never told me about Sarah. That shut her up. Her face twitched, barely, but I saw it. Who's Sarah again? I asked. New marketing manager, right? Part of that inside joke you texted at midnight? She opened her mouth, paused, then gave a half shrug. She's from our Atlanta office. You wouldn't know her. I didn't think it mattered. You sure she exists? I asked, voice low. Lauren looked behind her again, clearly checking if Maxwell was still in the room. Can we please not do this here? The kids are here, right? Yeah, they're in the room, confused, tired, excited to see you. Her face softened for a second, but not enough to cover the panic still behind her eyes. I didn't move. You've got 5 minutes to get dressed. You're coming to see them. Daniel, no discussion, I said. 5 minutes. She hesitated like she wanted to argue, then gave a shallow nod. Fine, I'll be down. I stepped back, let her close the door. Didn't even get the full latch sound before I heard voices again. Quiet. Tense. I turned and walked back to our room. Tyler was sitting up in bed, eyes locked on me the second I walked in. She coming? She'll be here in 5. He looked away and didn't say anything. Lily was still out cold. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. Nothing about her face, her tone, her body language said innocent. She looked like someone scrambling to put the lid back on a lie before it spilled out. 5 minutes later, the door knocked softly. I opened it. Lauren stood there in jeans and a sweater, hair brushed out, lip gloss on. Her game face was on now, back to work mode, except I could still see it, that nervous flick in her eyes. She smiled at the kids, crouched down, kissed Lily's cheek, and hugged Tyler stiffly. Lily mumbled something sweet in her half-sleep. Tyler didn't hug her back. I stepped aside and watched her act like nothing had happened. But I knew better. So did Tyler. As soon as the door closed behind Lauren, Tyler turned to me. She's lying, he said flat out. No hesitation. I stared at him for a second. What makes you say that? He gave me this look, half frustrated, half tired. I've seen stuff before this trip. Like what? He grabbed the remote and muted the TV. She hides her phone, gets weird when I walk into a room. I saw her on FaceTime once, some guy's voice in the background. She hung up quick, said it was a client call. Didn't feel like one. I felt like the air got thinner. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. Because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want it to be true, but it's not normal. You know it's not. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I know. He looked down at his hands. Are you going to do something? I already am. I got up, grabbed my hoodie and wallet. Stay here. Watch your sister. I'll be back soon. Tyler just nodded. Downstairs, I asked for the manager. Told them I was Lauren Hargrove's husband and that I had serious concerns. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I was calm, measured, but firm. You want footage? The guy asked. Like, camera footage? Yes, hallways, lobby, elevator, anything from the past few days. Sir, we have protocols. Then go check with whoever makes exceptions, because if I find out my wife's been checked in under false information or sharing her room with someone else, and you guys knew, that's a legal issue. He stared at me for a second, then walked away. 10 minutes later, he came back with a security supervisor. Different tone this time, more professional. We can show you limited footage, Mr. Hargrove, just enough to verify guest movement. I followed him to a small office behind the front desk. The guy clicked open a video feed from 2 nights ago. This is from Friday, 8th floor elevator, 10:21 p.m. There she was, Lauren, laughing, next to her, tall guy, dark jacket, hand on the small of her back. "Pause it," I said. He froze the frame. The guy was smiling at her, leaning in close. She wasn't pulling away. I pointed at the man. "Is that Maxwell Grayson?" The manager nodded slowly. "That name matches the second guest on file for room 1232. My stomach dropped. "Play the check-in footage." The screen switched. Lauren walked in with the same guy, same suitcase, same backpack she always traveled with. Not just a visit, she checked in with him. I leaned back in the chair, jaw tight, fingers gripping the arms. "How many nights have they been registered together?" He clicked again. Check-in was Tuesday evening, both names on file since then. I stood up. That's all I needed. They offered to copy the clips. I told them no. I'd seen enough. In the elevator going back up, I felt something harden in me, something cold. I'd known it before. I just didn't want to believe it. But now I'd seen it. She didn't just screw around. She lied. For days. Looked me in the eye. Talked to our kids. Slept next to this guy in a hotel bed while texting me goodnight. The moment the elevator dinged on 12, I paused before stepping out. No more doubts. Lauren was having an affair. And I was done pretending I didn't know. The next morning, I got up before the kids, pulled on jeans, packed up my emotions, and went down to the hotel restaurant to make a reservation. Big table, 10 people. I asked the hostess if there was a wall with an outlet nearby. She nodded. Perfect. I texted Lauren at 8 on the dot. Me, "Let's do breakfast with the team. Bring whoever's around. Kids want time with you." She replied 2 minutes later. "Lauren, that sounds great. We'll head down in 20. I went back up, got Lily dressed, told Tyler to throw on a clean shirt. He didn't ask questions. He knew something was coming. He'd been quiet since last night, eyes sharp, mouth tight. Lily grabbed her little sketch pad and skipped down the hall beside me. The hostess seated us near the back. Tyler sat beside me, arms crossed. Lily pulled out crayons. At 8:26, Lauren walked in, full makeup, hair curled, professional outfit like she was on the cover of a damn parenting magazine. Maxwell followed right behind her, laughing at something she said, hand briefly touching her back before he noticed me watching. 4 other co-workers trailed in behind them. I stood up. "Thanks for coming, everyone." Lauren came over, leaned down, kissed Lily's head. "Hi, sweetie," then gave Tyler a forced smile. "Morning, bud." Tyler didn't say a word. She looked at me next. "Thanks for setting this up." I smiled. "Yeah, thought it'd be good for everyone to have some time together. Clear the air." She blinked at that but didn't respond. We ordered. I kept it light. Chit-chat. Let them get comfortable. Then, when coffee hit the table, I pulled the small projector from my backpack and plugged it into the wall. Lauren stared. "What's that?" "Something I thought we should all see." Maxwell shifted in his seat. "Daniel, what is this?" I pointed the projector at the bare wall across from us. Hit play. The check-in footage came up first. Tuesday night, Lauren walking into the hotel lobby, Maxwell beside her. Same suitcase, same room key handed to both. Silence at the table. Lauren's voice cracked. "Daniel, what are you doing?" I didn't look at her. I let the next clip roll. Friday night. Elevator footage. Maxwell's hand on her lower back. Her giggling. Champagne in a silver bucket. A woman across from me, blonde, maybe in her 30s, covered her mouth. Lauren stood. "Turn it off, please." I looked right at her. "How long, Lauren?" She shook her head fast, like a kid caught stealing. This is taken out of context." "Context?" I cut her off. "You've been staying with him all week. You lied. To me, to the kids, to everyone." Lily looked up from her drawing. "What's happening?" Tyler put his arm around her. "It's okay." Lauren's voice cracked again. "Daniel, please, not in front of them." "In front of who? Your co-workers? Your affair partner? Our children?" Maxwell stood. "I think we should step outside." I turned to him. "You can sit down, Max. You're part of this." He sat. The room was dead quiet. The projector kept looping the same clip, Lauren smiling up at him like she used to smile at me. Tyler looked at the wall, then at her. "You really did this?" She opened her mouth, closed it, sat down slowly. "I never meant—" "Don't," I snapped. "Don't feed us any more of that." Lily looked between us, scared now. "Did Mommy lie?" I reached over and held her hand. "She made a mistake, honey, a big one." Lauren's eyes filled. She wiped them fast, trying to keep her composure, but it was gone. I stood up. "Enjoy your breakfast." Tyler stood too. Lily followed, gripping my arm. We walked out without looking back. In the reflection of the glass wall, I saw Lauren bury her face in her hands. Maxwell just sat there, dead silent. No one moved to comfort either of them. And that was enough for me. We got back to the suite, and the energy in the room was stone cold. Tyler unzipped his suitcase without saying a word. Lily crawled onto the bed, holding her stuffed dolphin like it was going to give her answers I couldn't. I started packing my bag, mechanically. Shirts, socks, charger cables. I didn't even bother folding. Tyler spoke first. "Do you think she'll follow us?" I looked at him. "Maybe, but I'm not letting her spin this into something it's not." He nodded once. "Good." Lily sat up, brows furrowed. "Are we mad at Mommy?" I knelt beside her. "I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the choices she made, but that's not your fault, okay?" Her eyes filled but didn't spill. "I don't want to go home without her." Before I could answer, the door knocked. I already knew. I opened it. Lauren stood there, makeup gone, red around the eyes. She didn't try to step inside, just stared at me like she wanted to collapse. "Can I say goodbye to them?" I waited a beat, then stepped aside. She walked in slow, sat at the edge of the bed, and reached for Lily's hand. "Sweetheart, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." Lily curled into her. "Are you coming with us?" Lauren's lip trembled. "Not today." Tyler didn't move. He just stood by the window, arms crossed. Lauren looked up at him. "Ty, I never wanted you to see me like that." He didn't blink. "Yeah, but you still made us." Silence. She stood up and turned to me. "Can we talk? Alone?" I followed her out to the hallway. She faced me. "Please, let me explain." "No need. I saw everything." "That wasn't the whole story. It was enough." She stepped closer. "I made a mistake. I panicked. I got in deep and didn't know how to stop. I don't love him. You lied over and over to me, to the kids. Don't stand here pretending this just happened." "I didn't plan this, Daniel. It wasn't like that." I let out a bitter laugh. "Really? Champagne, hotel keys, fake texts. Sure sounds like planning." "I miss us," she said quietly. "I miss you?" I clenched my jaw. "I buried who I was for this family. I stayed faithful. I stayed patient. You burned that down for what? A hotel affair with a coworker? I can fix it." "No," I snapped. "You can't. You don't get to fix it. You ended it." She stepped back like I'd hit her. "So that's it?" "Yeah, that's it." She nodded slowly, eyes glassy. "Tell the kids I love them. You tell them. Then go." As she turned toward the door, I saw movement from the hallway corner. Maxwell. He was pretending to check his phone, standing there like a damn ghost. I walked toward him fast. He looked up, too late. I grabbed him by the collar and slammed him into the wall. "Touch my kids again, and I will bury you. Got it?" He didn't fight back, just nodded, face pale. I didn't mean—" "Shut your mouth." Then I let go and walked back to the room. Lauren was hugging Lily one last time. Tyler stood by the door, suitcase in hand, eyes hard. She gave me one final look, silent, then left. The door closed behind her with a soft click. Nobody said much after that. We rode to the airport in silence. Security, boarding. The whole thing felt like background noise in a life I didn't recognize anymore. On the plane, Lily fell asleep on my shoulder. Tyler stared out the window the whole flight. And me? I sat there staring straight ahead, knowing there was no going back now, only forward. We landed in Seattle on a gray Monday morning, spring rain just starting to hit the windshield as we pulled into the driveway. The house looked the same, but everything inside felt cracked. I didn't unpack. I just made breakfast. Pancakes for Lily, coffee for me. Tyler skipped it and went straight to his room. Spring break was still on, so I kept them busy. Mini golf, bowling. I took them to the zoo one afternoon, let Lily feed the giraffes, didn't even flinch when she begged for ice cream twice in the same hour. I wasn't trying to distract them. I was giving them something steady, something that didn't feel like it could fall apart. Midweek, I met with a divorce attorney, woman named Harris, straight shooter. She reviewed everything, texts, hotel records, witness accounts. "You've got a rock-solid case," she said. "This won't be messy if you don't let it be." That was the plan. Clean break, no drama. I'd seen enough of that in New York. Lauren came back to Seattle 3 days later. She didn't show up unannounced, she texted. Said she'd give me space, said she just wanted to be near the kids. I let her stay. But in the guest room, no keys, no hugs, no pretending. She cried the first night, not loud, but I heard it through the wall. Next morning she knocked while I was making Lily's lunch. "I found a therapist," she said quietly. "I'm going twice a week." I nodded without looking at her. "And I was thinking, maybe we could go to counseling together?" "No," I said. She waited, like I might change my mind. I didn't. "You made your choices," I said. "This isn't a rough patch. This was a betrayal." Her eyes welled again. "I'm trying." "So am I. Just not for the same thing." Tyler barely spoke to her, wouldn't sit at the same table, wouldn't make eye contact. One night she asked if he wanted to go for a walk. He said, "I'm good," and went back to his room without another word. Lily was softer. She'd crawl into her mom's lap during movies, ask if she could still help bake cookies. But even she seemed unsure. She'd glance at me, like she was checking to see if it was allowed. I told both of them the truth in pieces. Simple language, no insults, just facts. I didn't want Lauren to poison the well, and I sure as hell wasn't going to lie to protect her from the consequences. Most nights, I sat on the porch after they went to bed. Just me and the quiet. I'd never felt so angry and so numb at the same time. But the one thing I wasn't anymore was confused. Boundaries were up. Locks changed. Lawyers were talking. And every day I moved a little closer to building a life that didn't involve cleaning up someone else's wreckage. 2 months later, we stood at the edge of Lake Washington, right where the wooden pier stretched out into the water. Sun was setting behind the trees, casting long streaks of gold across the lake. The air was cool, but not cold, just enough to need a hoodie. Lily ran ahead with a handful of smooth stones, already lining up for her first skip. Tyler stood next to me, hands in his pockets, staring at the water. "You good?" he asked without looking over. I thought about lying, then didn't. "I'm getting there," I said. "Still hurts, but I'm not stuck in it anymore." He nodded. "You seem better." "I feel better," I said. "Not great, not fixed, just more like me again." Lily flung a rock across the surface, 3 skips before it dropped with a splash. She cheered like she won something. "Did you see that?" she shouted. Tyler clapped slowly, deadpan. "World record." She stuck her tongue out at him, then giggled. I watched them and felt something crack open inside me. Not pain, something lighter. Like breathing got a little easier. "You know," I said, "we should make this a thing. Friday nights at the lake. No phones, no plans, just us." Lily spun around. "Can we get hot dogs next time?" "Sure," I said, "if you beat your skip record." "Easy," she grinned, grabbing another stone. Tyler kicked at the wood plank with his sneaker. "You serious about making it a tradition?" "Yeah," I said. "I think we could all use something steady. New chapter, new habits." He looked at me, then back at the water. "I'm down." We stayed until the sky turned orange and the bugs started coming out. Lily's jacket smelled like grass and marshmallows from the fire pit we passed on the way in. Tyler held the car keys on the walk back, and for the first time in a while, I didn't feel like I was dragging them through something. We were just living. Not fixing, not recovering, just moving forward together.